Welcome back. Well, I don't think many people outside of Dawson Creek have given the Kodiaks much of a chance in their second round playoff series against the Fort St. John Huskies. Fort St. John came into the series heavily favored, and not much in the first two games has happened to change that. The first two games of the best-of-7 semifinal taking place in Fort St. John. The Huskies shutting out the Kodiaks 4-0 in the series opener on Friday. Then Fort St. John easily winning Game 2 by a score of 7-2. Now Dawson Creek getting badly outshot in both the first two games. And if the Kodiaks have any shot at all, they'll need to win Game 3 at home next Friday. Puck drop is at 8:30 at Memorial Arena. Well, now to the second round of the NPHL playoffs. The Dawson Creek Senior Canucks facing a tough opponent in the Flair Pirates. Game 1 going Friday night at Memorial Arena in Dawson Creek. Only 2 points separating the two teams in the regular season, so it wasn't a surprise the opener went to overtime. The Pirates take Game 1 4-3. Then, on Sunday night, the two teams back at it in Flair. Dawson Creek up 3-1 after 2. They go on to win this one by a score of 5-1. The series is now tied at 1 apiece. Game 3 goes Tuesday night back here in Dawson Creek. Rachel Holman and Team Canada continue to dominate the Scotties Tournament of Hearts.
Oh, not a chance. Dear.
Holman's rink defeated Manitoba's Carrie Anderson 6-1 in the final, and the win makes them back-to-back Canadian champions. Not only that, but they did not lose at all during the tournament. They also went undefeated last year, and no other team has ever done that in back-to-back years. The Holman rink will now have the chance to defend their world championship in Seoul, South Korea next month. Well, finally, tonight, the building of the Alaska Highway was an engineering marvel at the time. In 1942, it took 25,000 men just over 8 months to build. And as Black History Month comes to an end, Jeff Cunha has a look at the historic contribution that was made by black soldiers.
The Alaska Highway attracts some 300,000 tourists from around the world every year. The over 1,300-mile stretch of highway spans from Dawson Creek to Delta Junction, Alaska. But not many people know its rich history, taking only 8 months to build. And as Black History Month comes to an end, the incredible feat is in part thanks to the perseverance of black pioneers.
I found that at the Sikanee Chief River. It's quite a big gorge to cross, and the African Americans bet their paycheck that they could do it in 3 days.
And that they did. The 95th Engineer General Service Regiment, tasked with an area spanning Dawson Creek to Fort Nelson, providing the much-needed manpower during the construction.
Not only did they win the bet, but at that time, Colonel Twitchell decided that the segregation would end and he would start having his white officers eat with the black enlisted men. So that was the first time in the history of the American Army that happened.
Work began on the highway in the winter of 1942 in response to the attack on Pearl Harbor. 11,000 U.S. soldiers sent north, a third making up all black regiments. They endured extreme cold, rugged terrain, and systemic discrimination.
If there were like wooden barracks, then they would end up in tents, or if everyone was in tents, then the white regiments would get the better tents and they'd get the rattier tents, and so on.
It also applied to machinery.
They even got stuck doing stuff with picks and wheelbarrows that they were supposed to do with, bulldozers.
And once summer rolled around, conditions didn't become any better. Trucks sinking in the melting permafrost and giant mosquitoes made even simple tasks more difficult.
And we have stories of men taking a spoonful of food, and by the time the spoon got to their mouth, it was all covered in mosquitoes.
The North Peace Museum in Fort St. John, housing a collection of photographs and memorabilia on its construction and how it shaped the Fort St. John we know today.
As you build a road, then it's easier for different supplies to come out. More people come here looking to develop resources, and so you see in the 50s and 60s the oil and gas industry starting to take off.
The achievements we celebrate, standing on the foundation laid by thousands of black pioneers. Their names and memories mostly left undocumented. Nevertheless, the barriers they broke, carving their mark on history. In Fort St. John, Jeff Cunha, CJDC-TV News.
And that is our newscast for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you back here tomorrow night at 6. Good night.